Selecting the right AMS keywords is critical to your overall campaign success. That's why we're going to discuss the core fundamental strategy behind them so as to better grasp the upcoming tactics to choosing the right keywords. At their core, AMS keywords are the words that you want your book to show up for when a shopper types them into Amazon. Based on what kind of ad you've selected, sponsored, or display, your book will show up for that particular search result or product. However, there are a couple of problems that most run into when they first are starting out with keywords and AMS campaigns. Number one, they choose keywords that no one is searching for. Number two, they choose keywords that are too competitive. Number three, they don't choose enough keywords. Number four, they confuse KDP keyword rules with AMS keyword rules and therefore don't target the right things. Number one is pretty obvious in that if the keywords you are targeting for your ad are words that no one ever types into Amazon or are books that no one ever sees, then there will be no opportunity for Amazon to show your ad, which equals 0 impressions and ultimately 0 sales. That's why it's important to ensure you have the keywords that shoppers are actually using. However, like number 2 states, selecting something too competitive will cause problems as well. An example of this is Harry Potter. Although thousands of people type this phrase into Amazon every day, there are hundreds of big-time publishers, self-publishers, and even merchandisers competing for that term. This will, of course, either make it so that your cost per click will be super high, or your ad will never show up. Another issue that most self-publishers run into with AMS keywords is that they don't choose enough keywords and thus never get any clicks. Many authors new to AMS will start by coming up with a couple of words or products that jump to mind, set up the campaign, and ultimately will see that this isn't enough. Although those keywords might be a perfect fit, you'll most likely find that they won't get you enough impressions in order to make the campaign profitable. Instead, you're going to need 200 to 300 AMS keywords to start with in order to see any action in your campaigns. This is an arbitrary number, but through experience, it's a good rule of thumb, especially when you're first starting out. Personally, I wish I could just select a couple of keywords, hunker down, and drive them all hard, even with high cost per clicks. But sadly, AMS doesn't really foster this type of action, something I'll explain in a later lesson. Also, something many people will discover is that some of your most profitable keywords will end up being something you never thought was exactly reflective of your book. Finally, many authors make the mistake of thinking that KDP keyword rules also apply to AMS keywords, and this just isn't true. As a matter of fact, as you'll see later, targeting other book titles and authors is not only allowed in AMS, but definitely a wise tactic. So, to review what we've learned, the best keywords for AMS are those that get searched for but are not super competitive, and it's best to start with at least 200 keywords but strive for 300 to begin with. Later on, you can pare them down or scale them up to fit your needs. It is also not only allowed but highly recommended that you target book titles and authors as well. In the next lesson, I'm going to show you how to apply the above and create your first legitimate keyword list for AMS. And with that, I'll see you in the next video.